In this video, we're going to talk about the brutal realities of passive income. So let's get started. In this video, I want to go through the complications and the myths surrounding passive income. And I think that this is a mirror for me in two ways, because the whole passive income side of business has become the goal for everybody, when actually they've got it the wrong way round. And I think this is, as I say, reflected into the idea of marketing as well. So marketing has become this search for this quick, easy tactics, tricks and things that can get things done for free, or and things like that. And both of those mindsets are actually wrong. People who set up successful businesses don't actually think like that, and this video is going to explain to you how. So first off, I really wanted to have a conversation around what is passive income, because a lot of people on the internet have blurred the edges of passive income, and I really wanted to cover that first, because I think it is important to understand the rabbit hole that you can go down in search of passive income, only to find that you're not making hardly any money for an awful lot of work. It's not very passive at all. So the first thing is there's 4 types of passive income, apparently, according to the internet. And the first one is you can buy assets like houses, and they bring you in cash because you rent them out. The second thing is you can build assets like businesses, and they bring you in cash because they are profitable and they generate you money. The third thing that then is bizarrely called passive income is that you sell things. So it's a bit like these adverts where they go, you know, if you don't want it now, sell it and you can make all this money. Well, hang on a second. You're not making any money whatsoever. You are just selling something you've already bought. So there is no income whatsoever. That is not income. That is selling something you've already paid some decent money for and selling it for probably less than you bought it. That's not a business, and that's not passive income in my opinion. And the next one is what's called reverse passive income. Now, I'm a big fan of this, but I don't see it as in any shape or form being actually anything to do with passive income. So reverse passive income is reducing your overheads, stripping back your life, walking instead of getting a taxi, anything you can do to reduce your overheads. And as such, there is this double whammy in terms of the fact that you not only are you saving that money you're not spending, but you don't have to earn that money. And we do hit this ceiling in our earning potential. Everybody has a kind of mental ceiling, and so if you can reduce the amount that you're required to live each month, that's a good thing, but I wouldn't call it passive income. So I'm going to just now dive slightly more, and it's very important that I do this because I think it's important to then break this down. What exactly could you do in order to generate passive income? And I'm going to focus on the first 2 things, right? So buying cash flow assets, such as a house to rent out, and building cash flow assets, such as a business to generate you income. So you can also earn interest on your savings, and you can earn money from stocks and shares, which is basically you have a small tiny percentage of somebody else's business. And there's actually 2 ways you can do this. One is obviously going on the stock market, which is what most people do. But in reality, if you are in business and you know other business people, then you could potentially invest in other startups and become a business startup angel, or you could potentially just invest in another business that you know, and you would have a percentage of their business, and that is stocks and shares, even though you've bought those stocks and shares directly rather than over a stock market. So that's a really important thing, because I think that's a great way of earning revenue. You could also then be a non-executive director on those companies, and that's a little bit of a double whammy, because we're now moving away, because you have to turn up every month to the directors meeting. That's time, and the whole idea of passive income is that you are earning money not for time but for interest on savings or things you don't actually have to do any work for. And but you have an influence on the business, and you get paid a monthly amount, and you get an interest in the business that you can then influence which you have shares in, but you don't have to then do the whole day to day, day in, day out, 9 to 5 kind of thing. So it's a middle ground. You can rent out things to other people. Okay, that's one of the things I've seen listed quite a lot, is a form of passive income. I'm going to come to that later. And you can earn royalties on your art and music. So if you write music and songs, and they're played on the radio or they're used for television advertising, you can then earn royalties. Every 6 months you get a royalty check. Very nice. So I'm going to give you some examples of passive income, and I think you can see where this is going. That then a whole bunch of people think is passive income, and we are going to break that down. So selling courses is a supposedly passive income. You can get your courses, put them on Thinkific or Udemy or somewhere, and then once you've done the course and you're in that marketplace, technically people can find your course and buy your course, and you're earning money. So you've built the asset, which is the course, and then over time you're earning money. Great. Affiliate commissions. So you could recommend certain products and all of those things, and I'm going to whip through this. You can earn money off YouTube revenue. You can earn money from having your podcast sponsored. You can also earn a huge amount of money, potentially, supposedly, through Amazon, and there's a number of ways you can do that. You can do Amazon ACX, which is where you can create your own books. They can be printed on demand. You can create your own audiobooks, do your own voiceovers, sell them on Audible, and you can create your own Kindle books, sell them on Kindle, and you can do Amazon FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, where you source a product from somewhere. You then make sure that your supplier is delivering them to a Amazon warehouse, and then it's sold on the Amazon marketplace, and Amazon take a big fat check for doing that all for you. But technically, once you've got the supplier lined up and Amazon delivering it all, you sit back and take the money. It's never as easy as that. Okay, so then you could sell merchandise. Loads of people, one of my big bugbears is this whole, set up an account on Teespring and knock up a few t-shirts and you too could be a millionaire. And then one of the other things I've seen listed as passive income is this idea that you can get cashback rewards on your credit card and on these cashback apps. Now I'm going to ruin that one straight away. If you're selling something that you've previously bought, or you're getting cash back on purchases, this is not passive income. I guess if that purchase was something you would buy anyway, like an electricity bill or a utility, something that is absolutely fundamental, and you got cash back on that, I would say, okay, that's fair enough. If you are going out and buying something which you don't really need, or even something which is not fundamental to your life, and you're getting a little bit of cash back, that is not passive income. You're spending money and you're getting a tiny kickback. That's a waste of time. So what I want to do is I want to break this down, looking at my list over here, and I'm going to break this down in two ways. Firstly, every single one of these things requires two things. Either you require a huge amount of cash or money or debt, good debt, to buy the asset. For example, if you wanted to buy a rental property, you have to buy it. You have to have a huge amount of money and then take on a mortgage, and you have to rent it out. Okay, so that's the first thing. Secondly, you have to do a huge amount of work for these other passive income ideas. If anyone thinks they can just knock out a YouTube channel, get 100,000 followers and start earning $5,000 a month from YouTube, they are sorely mistaken. Now, a lot of these online guru entrepreneurs have 25 sources of passive income that I make. How much effort and hassle and maintenance and monitoring and admin does that create? Huge amounts of admin, management, Hang on a second. That feels like you're running a business. In fact, it feels like you're running a very messy, complicated business which has got huge amounts of different things going on. You've got to learn all these skills. Oh, I've got to learn how to use Think Udemy. I've got to learn how to use YouTube. I've got to learn how to do these adverts. I've got to learn how to build a following. I've got to learn all of these things. And you've got to spend 2 years building up your YouTube channel. You've got to run a podcast, and you've got to build up your following on a podcast. Well, everybody's doing a podcast nowadays. This is not passive income at all. In my book, the only form of passive income that is truly passive, and even buying a house is not really, because you have to rent it out, you have to find an agent to do that for you, you have to worry about tenants and maintenance and insurance, and then any problems with capital gains tax here in the UK. So there's huge things. What are you doing? You're running a business. And so this is where I come to the concept of, hang on, what if I just decided to run a really good business that looked after customers, solved problems for them, transformed their life in some way, gave them value, they paid me a very nice profit back, and I could accrue large quantities of cash, right? Running a proper business. So like these marketing ideas which are looking for this kind of magical trick down the line, there's no point doing a magical trick if you haven't got your strategy, your messaging, your brand, and everything worked out first. And exactly the same with passive income. There is no point trying to set up a t-shirt shop and selling a book on Amazon and, oh, I'll do a YouTube channel and all of these tricks, when potentially you could be making far more money for far less complication, far less hassle, far less work, just by running a really good, solid business. So I'm not saying don't sell something on Amazon, but if you're going to sell something on Amazon, focus on that, do that really well, make sure the product is remarkable, exceptional, and in demand, constantly improving the product, and build a proper brand and a product range under that brand that you truly believe in. That is what's going to bring in exponential amounts of money, where eventually, potentially, you could put in a like I know a guy, he runs a haulage company. He doesn't do any work really. He went off and bought a pub restaurant and got involved in that. The haulage company runs itself. So all the money that he earns from the haulage company is in reality almost passive. He has a general manager and a managing director operations director who manage the whole business, and he takes a salary off the top. He goes in once or twice a month, gets his reports, gets his statistics, finds out what's going on, keeps the ship afloat, and then he goes off and plays with his pub restaurant. So, award-winning, by the way, because he had time to do it properly. So, when you're running a proper business, the concept of passive income suddenly becomes almost foolish, because you are fiddling about in these small fry, small money, messy, complicated, fiddly operations, when you could be running a highly profitable, well thought through and well structured business that is generating way more excess profit. And then you can use that excess profit when you actually have significant cash in the bank and you're thinking, actually now we've got too much cash, we don't know what to do with all this money. Then you put that into property, then you put that into stocks and shares, you put that into things which are generating you 5, 6, 7, 10% interest, maybe less, maybe just keep it in savings, 1% interest, 2% interest, but your business, a proper business, can bring in, multiples of interest rather than just these small amounts. So, it's very important that when you look at these ideas and these concepts for passive income, you're spending huge amounts of time thinking about all these different things. I know actually I've done it in the past, but in reality, running a proper, well thought through business for real customers is what will generate you the significant income. Okay, so I hope you've really enjoyed this video. I hope it's given you some ideas to think about actually focusing in on a proper business rather than scattergun on passive. And if it was useful, please like it, please share it, please subscribe to the channel and help the channel grow. And I look forward to seeing you in the other videos.